Hey guys, welcome back to YouTube Figure Unboxing, and if this is your first time finding me, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the future content. But anyways, today we're going to take a look at the S.H.Figuarts Spider-Man from the Homecoming Spider-Man. And I have been waiting for a good Spider-Man figure for a very long time, specifically from an import company. And S.H.Figuarts seems to be the perfect company to do it, at least I think so. But here's the left of the box, here's the right of the box, and here's the back of the box. And that's not wasting any more time, and bust this thing open and see what we got. And here we have the figures still in their packaging, and wow, he came with a lot of interchangeable hands. You can just tell how competitive the Spider-Man market is. But anyways, let's check out the figure itself. And here we have Spider-Man right out of the box, and as expected from S.H.Figuarts, the figure is really well made. I don't have any paint issues, no loose joints, and the figure feels really durable, and it's gonna last me a long time without anything breaking. And let's just take a closer look at the figure. I love all this attention to detail. Everything seems to be very nicely painted and sculpted, but the texture looks a little bit different from what I remember though. I remember the suit being a lot more smooth, but it doesn't really bother me because it still looks pretty good. And another thing I noticed right away is that he is a little bit smaller than I expected. Of course, he's gonna be smaller than your average like Marvel Legends or just domestic figures, but he is small compared to other S.H.Figuarts as well, which kind of makes sense because he is in high school. He's supposed to be a kid. Doesn't really bother me, but I can see that bothering some people who are just new to S.H.Figuarts. But if you're collecting S.H.Figuarts already, it shouldn't really bother you. But anyways, let's check out the articulation. I don't think there's anything you guys haven't seen already. And for the articulation, this figure should be using all the latest technology and engineering from Bandai. So I expect this to be amazing. And let's quickly go over it from the neck down. He can look up about this much, look down about this much, and you can turn his head no problem. You can also turn his neck as well. And the shoulder is on a standard ball joint, but it has a really good butterfly system. Let me just quickly show you guys what it looks like from the back. And he can raise his arm up about this much, but you got to play around with the plastic here. Watch out for some paint chipping. And he has shoulder swivel, bicep swivel, and curl about this much, and you do have the bow wrist, of course. And for the ab crunch, he can bend forward about this much, bend backwards about this much. Do have some side-to-side movement. And for the lower body, he's using the 2.0 body, so he can kick up about this high, bend about this much. You do have a swivel here, and he can do the splits, no problem. And of course, side-to-side pivot and the toe hinge. And I believe that's it for the articulation, and let's check out the accessories. And for the accessories, we can start with the default eyes, and they look great. And next up, we get a pair of slightly smaller eyes, and they're not too different, so let me just quickly show you guys the difference between this one and the default one, and I can show you guys the tool as well. So you just have to use this tool, like just push it. After you push it, wait, I didn't actually push it, sorry. Yeah, there you go. So after you push it, it pops out. Take it out. So now you guys can clearly tell the default one is a little bit bigger. And lastly, we get a pair of squinting eyes, and it looks pretty good as well. And for the interchangeable hands, first off, we get a pair of relaxed open hands, and these are always very nice to have, very useful. And next up, we get a pair of display open hands, and these are going to be very useful when you're doing some landing poses. And next up, we get a pair of this pinky and thumb style posing hands. And then we get a pair of hands to hold the smartphone. And of course, we get a pair of web shooting hands, and we do have some web shooting effects, and let's try these on. Alright, so here we have Spider-Man assembled with some web shooting effects, and it looks pretty good. And lastly, we do get a pair of hands for you to hold this web effect, and it looks pretty good. I love it. Alright, so the last accessories we get is the backpack. Very nicely painted and sculpted, and there's actually some weight to it. And the way for you to assemble this is just have to take this part out, and then you'll have to take this out as well. Yeah, let me just show you guys when it's assembled. Alright, so here I have him assembled with the backpack, and it looks amazing. I really like the way this turns out. Really cool. And we also do get a little piece where you can stuck it onto his back so you can use the Tamashii stage. I believe that's it for the accessories, and let's jump straight into the size comparison. And for the size comparison, let us start with some American IP S.H.Figuarts, and as you guys can see, he is a little bit smaller. And next up, we have the Mesco 112 Daredevil and Punisher. And then we have S.H.Figuarts Street Fighters. And then we have some Naruto S.H.Figuarts. Some Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. And then we have some more random S.H.Figuarts. And lastly, we have some recent Figma figures, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so overall the figure is definitely decent and I do recommend it. It's got amazing articulation, beautiful paintwork, and it does come with a fair amount of accessories given the price. But that said, the more I look at it, the more I feel like the proportion looks a little bit off. The neck is a little bit too long, and his limbs are just a little bit too skinny or tiny. Kind of reminds me of Floyd Mayweather, if you get the pun. And I know there's a fine line between sculpt and articulation, but I think in this case, Bandai focuses a little bit too hard on the articulation. And that's both a good thing and a bad thing for Spider-Man, in my opinion. I just wish there's a little bit more meat on him, you know. And given this, I might still consider the Mezco 112 Homecoming Spider-Man. That one looks a lot more healthy than this one. This one just looks like he needs a sandwich or something. But anyways, do let me know in the comments on what you think. Overall, this figure is still great, but it's not as good as I want it to be, being a really big Spider-Man fan. But anyways, this is Eric. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.